All right, tonight on Top 5, we're going to be listing bands we can't stand. All right, Doctor, what do you got?
Iron Maiden. I cannot stomach them. I used to think they were the cat's meow, and now cat's turd. With the G. But how many times can you gallop?
It's every song. How
many songs can you run into battle with?
Welcome to Top 5 with Joey Cassata. Starring Joey Cassata.
Team Jesus, my friend. No! Am I walking around park?
Co-starring Ernie Palooza. And the Doctor, Tommy Snyder.
Goddamn.
Now here's your host, Joey Cassata.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Top 5. I'm your host, Joey Cassata.
And I'm Bob Dylan.
Oh, Jesus Christ. And, of course, backed by semi-popular demand, the Doctor. What's up, Doctor?
Good evening, and welcome to the Haunted Mansion. Was that gravely enough? Was that gravely enough?
That's pretty creepy.
Well, I thought the new term is gravely, so I had to roll with it. What's up, boys?
What did Ernie say a couple weeks ago that no one ever commented on? Did you call it? Remember when we were doing the Twisted Sister episode, Ernie, and they said something about Brian Setzer, and you said, "Oh yeah, Brian Seltzer." Do you remember that?
He's the.
I even put
the guitar on.
I put the can of seltzer up on the screen. No one commented on it. I can't believe everyone missed it.
Brian Seltzer. That's what D. Snyder used to have to take every time they played together.
Doctor, did you watch the episode with the Lamonti brothers and Twisted Sister?
I don't watch any episodes because I can't stand myself on camera. And I'm supposed to have a lunch with Robert possibly tomorrow. He works in my area, so we're gonna break away for a beer and some a nice lunch. And I think he wants to show me it, so I've been waiting. So he's a celebrity now in DCAS. So
he was definitely very excited. We're right, Ern?
Mm-hmm.
He had a bucket list, and from my understanding, he had to change his underwear pants afterwards.
He did great. The Lamonti brothers were great.
Now, Joe, all you got to do me and Ernie a favor is get Ozzy on.
Ozzy Zoos.
Kiss my ass.
Before he dies, yeah.
Ernie, we should have Ozzy on and not invite Tommy.
Oh, please. I want to keep Tommy alive. Don't do that, please.
All right, boys. What are we going to be talking about tonight, Ernie?
Well, we've been arguing all day by text about what this is. We were going to say here's the way I define it. I picked big, huge, you can't talk about anything bad about these groups that I personally am not a fan of. That's how I defined it. And I have a feeling we're going to have to make a lot of enemies tonight, by the way.
No, I'm with you. I that's the route I went to. I went with big popular bands that most people love that I really just never got into and really just can't stand. I don't like them.
Boy, do we need ratings, huh?
We're losing all our ratings after this.
Yeah, this. Well, I don't know. I have a feeling. Well, I have a feeling we're gonna have all different picks. But yeah, people are gonna be mad at us for this one, I think.
Oh yeah. I don't mean picking Justin Bieber or Nickelback.
No.
Everybody hates those. Everybody hates those guys. I'm talking about groups that everybody loves. Oh, it's gonna be terrible.
I don't hate any bands, and you guys threw around the term hate because I don't like gangster rap. I like Eminem. I'm all over the place. Certain country singers, hate's difficult because I guess being a former artist, I just respect anyone who's in the right time, right place, and everyone has talent who's ever made it. And whatever their gimmick was, it works. So this is difficult.
All right.
So
Stop being so PC. Stop this horse shit. We're talking about bands. When they come on the radio, you immediately change the station. You don't want to hear from this band. You hear the singer's voice and you go, ugh, get this off. I know you have those bands.
Well, Slaughter's off because it's not a big market band. I want to fly with angels. My car goes off the highway. So
I think we got the opening.
So
Tom, you just gave me a great idea for my next karaoke song.
Oh, Ernie, you hit those notes.
Yes.
You'll be flying out windows.
Ernie, how's that picture I sent you this week? I have no recollection of this. It's me in when I was doing the Kiss tribute band, me in full makeup behind my drum kit with Ernie standing in front of me screaming. I don't know how he's on stage with me. I don't even know what this is from.
I have no recollection of where that comes from.
When Ernie hits certain notes, you're probably all blacked out on stage.
Who the hell was I in Kiss anyway?
I don't know. You must have forced your way on stage. Who the hell knows? All right, before we list our bands that we can't stand, we got to play the infamous, the world-renowned Doctor. What are you drinking tonight?
I was in a rush. I'm doing the Knob Creek again with the maple.
Ooh. Oh, Maple Knob Creek. The pancake syrup Knob Creek. I like that.
My Saturday morning pancake syrup.
I can't imagine that's the same bottle, is it?
Mm-hmm.
No, stop. Don't be ridiculous. Tom,
Mm-hmm.
Did you buy a case? Is that what happened?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not only it's not the same bottle, there's a bottle in between somewhere.
Same glass, too.
Yeah, your ass.
Your ass.
Ernie, what do you got?
You know my favorites, my Heineken Zeros.
He's got to
like a drive home later.
He's got to look back at it just to make sure every time.
Yeah, well, marijuana is legal now, so we'll never know.
I got a delicious Cape May grapefruit IPA. It is marvelous. Marvelous.
I applaud the IPA, but the Jersey thing, huh? You're doing the Jersey thing.
Yeah, I'm a Jersey boy now. I never thought I'd say it, but I like it here. Grapefruit. You know I like fruity. We went through this last week.
We know that.
All right. Let's make the public hate the Doctor first, Ern. You're number 5, Doctor. What do you got?
Whatever you guys say, it'll be worse on me. Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Who the hell is Ern?
You're making me change my picks already.
Yeah, I'm questioning what I have too. Interesting. All right,
I might
Doctor.
turn on Ozzy. Let me be completely profound. All right, I'm gonna start off with a band I never liked because as I grew up, there were bands I loved, now I detest, and bands I hated, now I like. So getting older has changed my taste. So I gotta start off with Rush. I have to do it. If Alvin had a cousin, a Canadian cousin, it would be Geddy Lee. That voice, I can't. Whirlwind on my shoulder, the certain notes he hits. I think, Joe, you said a while ago when we did bands and whatever we were discussing, a great band, great talented band, great songs. I have a hard time with that one. And his voice just cuts through me, and I can listen to their music. I mean, they're so talented, but I can't. And when he hits, what is it? Coming straight from the heart. What is it?
Closer to the heart?
Yeah, closer to the heart. It's like that is That's an accident if I'm listening to that on the highway. That's all it is. It's an accident.
I,
I'm Tiger Williams, baby. Tiger Williams. I am.
You know when Ernie can sing and pretty much mimic the guy perfectly, you know something's wrong with that singer.
Are you related to Alvin and Chipmunks?
Yes, I am.
Tom, I think it's a great pick.
I agree with Tom. We're not just Rush, but Yes, Genesis, the whole bunch of them. It's the same band to me.
Yeah,
Don't put Genesis in with the prog rock.
Earlier Genesis.
Genesis
He's
is
right.
different.
Early Genesis is proggy. I'm with you guys.
Yeah,
I'm not
but
a
I
big
like the Phil
fan.
Collins.
I'm a song guy. I think Rush is very overrated, especially live. I went to see them live. We were on the Kiss tour, and the night before we got in early, and they played the same arena we were playing the night before, and we had tickets. We got watched them backstage and stuff, and they literally, ready for this? They have a washer and a dryer on stage. That's the stage show. That's all they had. A washer and dryer. And every once in a while, a guy would come out and change the load and go back. Okay?
Now, suddenly I like them more.
And that was the stage show, and the music was worse than that. I wanted to kill myself.
Well, the music was always dry. Now they're washed up. So there you go. But
yeah, great pick. I love it, Doctor. Great pick. I think that's exactly what we're going for.
I haven't changed that pick since when I was 14, 15 years old. Never changed.
All right, Ern. That's a tough one to follow. Tom, I'm sure there's a lot of hate mail coming in for that one. What do you got, Ern?
I expected that choice actually from Joey more than Tommy, but I have a feeling, Joey, that Rush is on your list somewhere too, by the way.
Maybe.
All right, my number 5, Aerosmith.
Ooh.
Can't do this.
A band that's been around for 50 years. When's the last time you put one of their albums on, honestly?
Ernie, can I ask you a question? Name a band, any other band that's been around for 50 years to put an album out. Besides Ozzy, who's on his deathbed, who's pumping albums out like this.
No, Ernie doesn't even mean new albums. He's saying, when was the last time you put on an old Aerosmith album?
I'm not going to fight with you. Go continue. Go ahead, rip them apart.
Come on, Ern.
Well, I mean, there is a mid-70s Aerosmith that I prefer to other Aerosmith, but their whole output, they don't really do it for me.
I have a feeling Ernie's going to pick up a new country today. It's going to be China. You're being very aggressive, Ernie.
It gets worse from here.
I got to tell you, so I say this all the time. Aerosmith is one of those bands I feel like I should absolutely love. I should love them. They're bluesy. He's got a cool voice. They got great rhythms, blah, blah, blah. It's a band that I just, like you said, Ernie, it's not a band that I necessarily will turn off as soon as I hear them, but it's a band I never go to. I never put Aerosmith on, ever, unless it just comes on.
Thinking about this whole thing, a lot of these bands have not put out anything in years. We all agree. And some bands that I can't stand just put out a few albums and they lived off of them. But we don't have time all night to discuss every band I can't stand. So, but when Pump came out, I mean, they had already their work. They came out with Pump. I mean, that album alone, if we'll save this topic maybe for another day, influential albums. That album Pump was amazing, and they still had it. And I know he didn't write the love songs that came out with certain movie themes and stuff like that, but at least they came out with something other than other bands who just tour final tours for 30 years.
I'll give you Pump is one of their better albums. I do give you that much.
Well, I look at greatest hits. Could they put a greatest hits album together? Yes, they can.
Yeah, Aerosmith again.
The album
Aerosmith
has like 10 songs on it though.
They didn't make my list, but it's definitely one of the bands. I understand what you're saying. I get it. Yeah, good pick.
No, I already came out aggressive. I got to get ready for this. I got to change my picks.
All right. I'm gonna go.
Oh, that's nothing. That's nothing. Aerosmith is nothing.
Oh boy, Ernie's going to denounce
Again,
Sabbath.
This
On the
is a
record.
band everyone loves. Can't stand them. They come on the radio, and I know it's them because they're very distinct. 2 seconds in, I go beep. I will
I
switch.
can smell them.
I will switch to Justin Bieber any day over this band.
You
And
can
that
smell them
band
through the speaker.
is Pink Floyd. Does absolutely
now you're talking.
nothing. Nothing for me. They do nothing. I said it a million times. I want melody and I want groove. They have neither.
That you're out of your mind one when it comes to melody. Melody,
Maybe it's because I've never done a drug in my whole life. Maybe it's one of those bands that you, and there's another band on my honorable mentions like this. Maybe you have to be on drugs to like these guys. I can't get into it. I want music that gives me energy and feel good. I don't want music that I sit there and go, I don't know, it just doesn't do it for me.
Well, let me tell you, I love that you've taken this choice because it does bother me because I love them so much. But that's what I want this episode to be about. Your personal. I mean,
Yes.
I love the choice. Even though I'm a Pink Floyd fan, that's exactly what I want from us today. Is our true feelings about these bands that nobody's allowed to say anything bad about.
We started with 3 pretty big bands: Rush, Aerosmith, and Pink Floyd. So, I mean, obviously you guys know this is the end of the show because we're going to get canceled and no one wants to ever watch us again. But that's what I want. I want hate mail. I want to hear what you guys think. I want hate mail especially for Ernie.
Now, Pink Floyd would have fell under my most overrated bands because they had a small amount of work catalog and have been running off that ever since. They have not. So I would say underrated. I look at work, but it's hard. I did not like Pink Floyd growing up, but now that I've mellowed out, I love them. And I got to be honest with you.
Wait, hold on a second. You love them? Really? You love Pink Floyd?
I can sit down and listen to Pink Floyd and relax.
That's absolutely not the definition of love. Oh, I could sit down and listen to them and relax. That's not loving a band. That's tolerating a band, right?
I love my Nom Creek. It makes me relax.
All right, Doctor, what do you got? Number 4.
Okay, I'm gonna go Turncoat. A band that I used to, when I had hair in Marine Park, Iron Maiden. I cannot stomach them when they come on the radio now. I don't know what the hell I was thinking about back then. The only tie I can make is maybe a little Dungeons and Dragons medieval stuff, but they have a following that only their following knows what the hell. They've done nothing, and I've kind of grown up. So I look back. I used to think they were the cat's meow, and now cat's turd.
I can't argue it because it's going to be on my list later. So, yeah.
I mean, Harris says, I remember Billy Sheen being compared to Harris as the greatest bassist when you were growing up with the G. But how many times can you gallop?
It's
in a
every.
song?
I'm so glad you said that. It's every song. Ba It's every song.
How many songs can you run into battle with? It's
I was just gonna say it. It's like every song they ride into battle. Enough. We get it.
We get it. But I don't get it anymore.
There's an old argument. I always hear the argument, who's better, Priest or Maiden? Come on. Give me a break. It's not even close. Songs. Everything is about songs, not about wah. It's about songs.
No.
Maiden doesn't have songs.
Bruce Dickinson never hit a falsetto, I don't think. So you can't even use that with him. It's just the wordy storytelling. I mean, there's more words than playground songs. When I got to pick them in.
And Doctor, you said it's so funny. The only thing that's even close to nice about them is like the Dungeons and Dragons. I like that type of stuff about them. I mean, Number of the Beast. I like all that stuff, but
you're gonna start off wow 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 and wow wow wow, and then as soon as the song starts, I turn the station.
Yeah, wow, and then it goes da 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 da. Great.
Even a love song be like, I love you so much. It's like he's going in for the kill.
I love you. Da, 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 da. All right, Ern. I love it, Doctor. Great pick. What do you got, Ern? Number 4.
I'm just going to come out and say it. Jimi Hendrix Experience. I like Voodoo Child. I like All Along the Watchtower. That's really it for me as far as Jimi Hendrix songs goes. I think Foxy Lady is a terrible song. Purple Haze, I'm totally bored of.
Foxy. Yeah.
I think Foxy Lady is not a good song.
No,
if you ever listen to it.
You nailed it, Ernie. You nailed it on this one. You went somewhere I wasn't thinking. His talent superseded his songwriting ability. It really did.
Yeah, and his vocal too. His vocal is overrated too.
Yeah. But I mean, you can get away with it with that groove that he was singing in. But yeah, as far as melodic, it's like he's kind of like I would say a heavy metal Dylan.
Yeah.
It's like
I get it. He was the first guy to do that kind of guitar with the electric sound, and he was an innovator. I get it. Never, ever in my life have I put on Jimi Hendrix to say, oh, you know what I feel like listening to right now? Jimi Hendrix. Never.
Yeah, if you're going to break things down like that, don't tell me that there weren't 500 other in the world that was sitting in their bedroom that were better than him.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, anyone can sit there and go nuts on a guitar, but to put it, I mean, I can't believe we're putting Hendrix, but yeah, when you look at it.
It is crazy. We're bad-mouthing Jimi Hendrix right now.
I made this list in fear.
Oh, this is going to be... Oh, we're going to get mail for this episode. We're going to get some heated mail.
I'll only poo-poo people who are already dead that can't come kick my ass.
Great pick, Ern. I love it. I agree. And I wish I could disagree with it. I don't disagree with any of these picks yet, which is insane. Yeah. I didn't think of Hendrix.
But I have to tell you, Joey in particular, you're going to like my next choice even more.
Oh, shit. I'm not sure if that was sarcastic or real.
No, Joey will love my next choice.
Oh.
Not possible declaration of war, but okay.
All right, so my number 4, not as a big a band as the rest of the bands we named, but it's a band I just can't stand. As soon as they come on, the guy's voice irritates me to no end. The Red Hot Chili Peppers. Oh, it's just something about his phrasing and his voice and the guitar I don't like anything about them.
The music doesn't flow. It's very choppy and funkish.
Yeah, it's funky, but
raps,
it's funky, but without soul. It has no soul. It's like this. What you said was right. It's like this weird rap funk garbage. Right.
Ugh.
I consider them a really big band, by the way. So that's also a brave choice too.
Well, I'm running out of big bands here, so.
Yeah, I don't know if they're as big as Hendrix, but yeah, I mean, it's a band I wanted to put on the list because it's a band that I know is popular, but if they come on and I think all of the bands we named too are very distinct, meaning they come on.
Joe, I believe they're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything.
Playground will be in Rock and Roll Hall of Fame next week.
We are eligible. I saw we were on the ballot this year. I don't think we made it.
Oh, if we didn't hear anything by now, I think.
No, I'm waiting. I look and I check the mail every day. We see if we get the letter.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. A carrier pigeon just landed on my windowsill with a note.
You're a wizard, Harry.
I think we were in, and then after last week's
Hold on.
DeVito
Hold
debacle, we got immediately.
The carrier pigeon just was on his foot. It says, "You didn't make it."
All right, we'll
Says
wait
you
till
didn't
next
make
year.
it.
All right, Doctor, we're up to your number 3. What do you got?
Very confusing. Guns N' Roses. I cannot denounce Appetite for Destruction. I can't. It was a game changer. It came out. It blew everyone's mind. They
Shut up.
sounded so much different than everyone.
Stop. Listen, if you don't like a band, own it. Don't give them compliments after you saying you don't like it. Stop it.
By the way, Axl Rose is alive, and like I said, I don't want him coming here and kicking my ass.
He's alive and he sucks. He's terrible.
I don't think Axl Rose was ever a good singer.
Ah.
You want the most
Doctor-
embarrassing? The most embarrassing thing you'll ever see is him sing with Tom Petty on stage,
I remember that.
Free Falling. Tom Petty stood there, scared for his life. He's going like, "Free falling." He's screaming. He's like this. Tom Petty's like this, laughing like.
Doctor,
anyway,
you stole another one of my picks.
I don't know what happened. I can't explain it. Appetite for Destruction. To me, maybe because it was killed to death because it was such a great album.
No, shut up. Don't do it.
on.
Don't backtrack.
Hold on. No, I'm not. To me, their best song is November Rain when he sings normal. I like it. Slash is awesome guitars. But I got to tell you, their style of music was really good for that little small window. No one else sounded like them. It was like an LA Guns, really wacky sound. And I don't think they would have stood the test of time if they would have stayed together, personally. And now when I hear them on the radio, it goes off right away. I can't stand them. Can't stand it. Gone.
Immediately. I hear anything by Guns N' Roses, I hear Axl's voice, I immediately change the station.
Even November Rain.
Even November Rain. I don't like anything they do. I don't like any songs they do. I don't like their style. I don't like Axl as a person. He seems like an asshole. He thinks he's
Jerk off.
Yeah. Everything about the band, not for me.
I guess it's so easy to turn them off, huh?
Yes. I have no patience when it comes to them.
Good one.
Yeah, great, Doctor. You took another one of my picks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. You're killing my list.
I've seen you foaming from the mouth a little bit on that one.
Yeah, Guns N' Roses, just so you know, Guns N' Roses is my number 1.
Oh,
It's
okay.
it's a band that I'll get to it when I talk about my number
So
1.
you were
Ernie.
young. You were 12 years old when that came out.
I was close.
No,
You're
I'm not
right.
lying. 13, 14, maybe.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but
by the time Appetite of Destruction had already passed,
No,
that
but
was
that
it.
is
And
but
you
that
were
has
left
nothing.
with the other shit.
No, but that has nothing to do with it because those are my prime music years. All the Bon Jovis and Cinderella, Twisted Sister, all the stuff from the 80s I love. Guns N' Roses comes out and everyone's raving about this new band with this great new singer and I'm like, "What? This is a good singer? What?"
You know what's wacky? And I'm just going to touch on this real quick. To have such a unique sound, but to not stand the test of time. I don't think they would have stood the test of time for whatever reason. I don't know. It's weird about it. They had such a unique sound. It was really off. But that's it.
Yeah. Ernie, what do you think?
Well, I think, this is all about our own opinions. It's a brave choice. I never thought Axl Rose was a good singer. I definitely agree with you there, though.
All right, Aaron, what do you got? Number 3.
I have one supporter, only one, on social media. Everybody else is Joey, but I have only one person that supports me, and he's going to be gone after this. Pearl Jam.
Yes. Did you hear that, Carmine? Ernie hates Pearl Jam, which means he hates you.
That's not what it
And
means.
Ernie hates beer.
Oh, no. I love what beer does to me, though, but I don't like the taste.
I wanted to argue so much on this episode, and I can't argue about all yet.
I argue that pick because out of the Seattle bands, Nirvana, to me, was the most overrated, and possibly if you didn't take a shotgun to his head. And in all due respect, I mean, well, he's dead. I could talk about it because he's not going to come kick my ass. But I really think Soundgarden, Stone Temple Pilots, and Pearl Jam were the three better of the four bands that came out of that. That's just me.
I just they don't do it for me at all.
Yeah.
I liked the first album for about 10 minutes, and I never liked anything else after that ever.
Well, you get that Carmine for that.
Yeah, again, it seemed they're to me very much like a Guns N' Roses. They have, Eddie Vedder has this aura about him, like this Axl, that he's big. They stink. They're no good. I don't like them. There's no songs that I go to. There's nothing that if they come on, I don't immediately change the station like I do with some of the other artists we talked about. But there's nothing about them that's endearing, song quality wise, melody wise, nothing.
What I heard about them, because Billy Zemish was big onto them, and he went to the concert, and he stand up. I don't like singers. There's so much political shit that's been going on the last 20 years. People want to listen to music because they want to listen to music and get away from politics. So keep it out. But he'd be on stage screaming at people, screw the rich people.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah. And Billy Zemish, he told me, he was sitting in the audience going, wait a minute. You're rich.
Right. You're exactly right.
We're all idiots.
I want to hear Van Halen singing about bringing whiskey to the party. I don't want to hear Eddie Vedder singing about politics and screw the rich people.
About it.
Right.
A spiel.
Get the fuck out of here,
a spiel. Who needs a spiel?
Ugh.
You're a singer. Now that gives you a right. It's like the Academy Awards now. Now everyone's got something to say.
Please.
You're a fucking actor.
Exactly right.
Act.
Shut up. Exactly right.
I had to be rich to be able to afford the ticket to the show.
Yeah, exactly. But
great pick, Ernie. I like it.
I'm dwindling.
All right. Now, since we went, you already mentioned it, Doctor. You just talked about them. I have many reasons that I hate this band. And the music is on the top of the list, but there's other reasons too. And you just mentioned them. To me, the worst of this whole genre, Nirvana. Never cared for them. And, personal reasons because, again, now, early mid-90s, I'm in the music business. I'm trying to get a record deal. I'm still doing Skid Row type bands and Bon Jovi, and I love that stuff.
Grunge.
Grunge comes along, and Nirvana is the poster child of grunge. And they don't even, they don't just come on the scene. They have to take the scene that I love and literally destroy it. And that's
on it.
Yeah, it wasn't just in the eyes of the public, it was the eyes of the industry, everyone. The industry, when Nirvana came out, they said, okay, all of this glam metal and this pop metal, whatever you want to call it, hair metal, people call it today, is dead. If you even have any association with it, you are blacklisted. And that's what happened. So not only did I not like the music, but because they literally crushed all the dreams that I had of becoming a rock star until much, much later when it finally became okay to play that music again. That's why I hate Nirvana.
They was, me and Ernie's dreams were crushed too in Playground with you.
Yeah.
But you went on to suffer the aftermath of that shit.
Yeah.
But things were changing when the Seattle movement came over. This is what I understand. Nirvana, they get signed first, so now they're the frontiers of Seattle music. I mean, Soundgarden was still doing. It's like Eddie Van Halen, Randy Rhoads, George Lynch. We just went through this. Who got signed first? All right, it was Eddie.
Yeah.
George, Randy. Just because Eddie got signed first doesn't mean he was the frontier of what he did.
I think it was more because Smells Like Teen Spirit was such a big
It was out there, man.
Yeah, but
It was angry.
it was angry. The video, just everything about it said the exact opposite of what everything else before it was. There was no overindulgence. I want music, and I want my movies to be gigantic. I want big special effects and super movies, and that's how I want my music. I don't want Nirvana came along and started to dress like the bum on the street that I used to see on 6th Avenue in Manhattan, and they became superstars. And it was all fake too. It was, if you were considered part of the indie scene, you were now one of the hip bands. Meanwhile, all the big labels were making believe they had an indie label just to call it an indie label. It was ridiculous.
Now remember too, when Ozzy came out with Ultimate Sin, I got to throw Ozzy in there, but that was my time period. The glam rock was started. We were called posers by the Metallica fans.
Yeah, agreed.
So there was always a changing of the guard, but like you said, the record industry really responded to them, and they really shut out a lot of good talent.
Right. The difference was Metallica and Poison could coexist. Metallica fans hated Poison fans, and Poison fans didn't understand Metallica fans, but it didn't matter. They coexisted. They both played stadiums. They sold records together. Nirvana came, and everything that came before it with popular, metal at the time was completely gone. You could not be. You could not say guys from Warrant and all these other bands. You couldn't say you were from these bands because you were looked down upon.
Right. Agreed. That's why I stand by. I stand by Stone Temple Pilots, Soundgarden, and even Pearl Jam. Even though Pearl Jam sucks, but at least I think they were. I mean, I know they were talented.
Carmine's gonna lose his mind.
All right. I mean, me personally, I'm a Stone Temple Pilots guy.
Yeah, if I were to pick a band out of that genre, I would go with Soundgarden because I like Chris Cornell's voice. It was more of what I wanted in a voice rather than, Kurt Cobain.
I think STP was the best songwriters out of all of them.
Yeah, I never got into them either, but I could at least understand them. All right, obviously the hate mail is pouring in. Ernie, what are we up to? Doctor, number 2. Uh-oh.
Bruce Springsteen. Sorry, man.
I expected somebody to say this one.
Sorry, I can't. I tried my whole life. I spent summers in New Jersey with my grandmother. I guess you got to be from Jersey to get it, or a small town. I mean, I don't get it. Every song to me sounds the same. I'm not knocking him as a songwriter, but he does absolutely nothing for me to be considered the boss. He's this, he's that. No, sorry. Nothing. And personally, I think Billy Joel would beat the shit out of him in a fight.
I would take Billy Joel I would take Billy Joel's worst song over Springsteen's best song any day of the week.
Stop in the butter?
Oh, Stop in the Butter? What?
Stop in the butter. Stop in the butter.
Guys, we're still waiting for the submissions for the Stomp the Butter contest. Please send them.
I thought my
top 5 with Joey Cassata at gmail.com. We want to see a video of you stomping on the butter, and you will be a guest on this show. Stomp the Butter.
I'm calling out my boy who thinks Ernie Schnapps and Billy Z and my Gravely voice.
No Gravely. It's Gravelly. No Gravely. You didn't sound...
I wasn't wearing my glasses.
Hold on. I didn't understand the whole intro. Now I get it.
There we go. I'm wearing readers. I wasn't wearing my readers.
Ernie, I didn't understand when we started the show. If you rewind this, everyone, when the doctor starts the show and goes, well, like Count Dracula, good evening. We got a great email that mentioned Tommy's gravelly voice, and he thought it said gravely.
Well, I said in the email, what am I, the crypt keeper?
Well, I just thought you meant his voice. I didn't know what the hell you were talking about. Oh,
I just started wearing these damn things this past year, so they're not always on me. That's why I don't text anymore.
I think my second vaccine and the IPA is kicking in.
All right. So your voice is gonna get gravelly now.
No, gravely.
Gravely. I was like, gravely. What do I sound like? Freaking. But anyway, what we're talking about?
I'm not gonna make it.
Bruce,
I gotta assume if you don't like Springsteen, then you definitely don't like Bob Dylan.
Yeah, Doctor's frozen right now, but yeah, I don't. Is that your next choice, Ern?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, let's go. Doctor's frozen. So, what's your number 2, Ern? What do you got?
Oh,
he's back.
My number 2. Okay, Elvis Presley.
I mean, we are really.
He's on mine.
We are.
He's on mine, Ernie.
Really?
Number 2. Honorable mention.
I don't like any of the songs. I mean, maybe Suspicious Minds, Burning Love, but
now are you saying even like the cover songs that he's done? You know, the Jailhouse Rock and Blue Suede, Hound Dog, and even that stuff. I know those were remakes, but you even don't like that stuff?
I would never ever put it on. I never would. Yeah.
I'll go as far as Love Me Tender, and that's where it ends.
This is the first pick.
I punch myself in the face at the end of the song.
This is the first pick. I don't completely disagree with it, but I semi disagree with it just because that's a sexy bastard. Just his persona is what changed music in general.
Right, Kiss fan. Well, here we go.
Yeah,
Kiss
it's
fan.
true. It's true.
But we're not talking about the same thing anymore.
Right.
Ernie,
I'm going to give it Ernie because the reason why I don't like him because he was the great white hope. He robbed. Not his fault. Not to his fault.
No, it's not 100% not his fault.
But he stole to be called the King of Rock. He basically stole gospel black music and was called the King of Rock when really the King of Rock was Chuck Berry, who actually created rock.
But he didn't steal it. The record companies stole it.
No, I understand.
He's Elvis. He's going to say, no, I'm not going to. I don't want to do that song. Come on.
Is he dead?
He's dead.
Yes.
I poo-poo him. I poo-poo.
Ernie, you know what Pacino would say about him?
What?
He's got a great ass.
I'm not saying that most people love him, but me personally, I don't like the songs.
Overrated, or dislike.
Yeah, I think if Elvis comes out today, if he comes out today, I agree with you, but because he was the first of everything, of all that stuff, it's the first one that I semi disagree with. Yes, am I putting on an Elvis? Am I putting on an Elvis CD tonight? No, but I at least I get it. All right, where the hell are we? My number 2. Okay, so I'm gonna do a little pivot. Maiden was my number 2, but because the Doctor stole it, I'm gonna. This is one the Doctor's gonna feel in his heart. I think the Doctor likes this band.
All right.
And I'm not going. And trust me, I'm not. You guys know I'm not a big Ozzy or Sabbath fan. They didn't make my list. This band did. And this band, this is the one exception band. This is why they didn't originally make my list, and they were on my honorable mentions. There is a couple songs that I like and that I can listen to, but as a catalog and as a band in general, can't stand them. 2 letters.
I know it's gonna be. I know it's gonna be.
You. 2.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it.
All right, I just lost my number 1.
Ooh. Yeah, again, it's one of those bands.
I knew both of you would hang up on me after I picked Bono for my lead singer.
Oh, that was completely disappointing. Jesus Christ. It was almost as bad as Moron DeVito not picking a Kiss record in his top albums ever. God, he'll never be back on the show.
Debacle DeVito?
And a debacle DeVito, baby.
People are going to call up and going, you ain't got a DeVito, baby.
Joe, I don't want to break it to you, but U2 is not 2 letters, you know.
It's not? Oh, you're right. A letter and a number. Sorry.
Thank you. I just got a call from Bono.
Do
He
you
said,
like?
"Call asshole?"
Do you like my gravely voice?
All right. Well, I'm talking to two Guineas and half Polish, trying to figure out the Irish. What's going on with you two. I'm very surprised though, Joe. I have to admit, because the rhythm section in U2 is very powerful.
You're right.
The bass,
Yeah, you're
bass,
right.
It carries the band. They're very powerful.
You're right, but there's something, obviously, just U2 in general, the message and the politicalness of the band.
They left that. They left that a long time ago.
Even just Bono in general, his voice and his phrasings and the edge guitar work with all his noises.
Delays. He's got a lot of delays.
just not into it. Nothing memorable. There's some of the hits I do enjoy listening to, and I've even played them over the years. I enjoy, but in general, U2 comes on, I change it.
Well, I'm just saying, like, Two Hearts Beat is one. You wouldn't know playing the drums to that.
I don't even know if I know it.
Boom, 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 boom. You don't know. Two hearts beat as one.
I thought that was like a Taylor Dane song, which I would take over U2 any day, by the way.
Well, I'm not going to say anything about her because she'll kick my ass too, but let's move on.
All right. We're up to our number ones. Doctor, let me run down your list first. Number 5, Rush. Number 4, Iron Maiden.
His wedding night.
Number 3, Guns N' Roses. Number 2, The So-Called Boss, Bruce Springsteen. And your number 1, Doctor, what do you got?
She actually beat out Dylan.
Oh, it's a she.
I cannot. This is the only one that was legit on my list. Mariah Carey.
Wow, that one hurt.
I cannot stomach the look, and I'm going to use the word chipmunk again. Overfed chipmunk face. She is most overrated, obnoxious, and I have my personal reasons too. Without social media, she's nothing. She could sing back in the day, but that hasn't happened in 15 years. I actually tune in now. I'm her number 1 fan because she's the greatest train wreck walking or being carried out by people. Love her.
I'm not going to
love her, but for the wrong reasons.
For the last 20 years, you couldn't be more right. She is an absolute disgrace to humanity and the music business. Absolutely awful.
And she beat the Beatles record for most number 1 hits. She holds it. And that to me, being that she never wrote a song in her life,
I don't. That's not
sick to my stomach. That is absolutely true.
Hold on. The first few Mariah Carey records, when she first came out, are, and I'll go on the record here, are absolutely great. The first few records are great.
She was the next Whitney Houston.
When I forget what her husband's name is, but the big record producer, when she was still married to him, Tommy Mottola, she was this innocent, great voice, came out, feel-good songs, pop songs.
That's fine.
Spectacular songs. Since then, she tried to become like this slutty pop star. Absolute disgrace. She gained 700 pounds. I couldn't agree more. Awful.
It's a tough to do this. Like Elton John was going to be one of my things tonight.
Bernie would have had a heart attack.
Only because after talking to the other pianists that I know, Billy Joel really can't play piano. He bangs the keys like old rock stars. Like
I will not sit here and let you badmouth Billy Joel.
Not Buddy Holly. What do you call it? Well, anyway, she was the next Whitney Houston as far as voices. She walked into something that was beautiful. And on New Year's Eve, 3 years ago, I think it was 3 or 4 years ago, I recorded it. It was the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, it was
so out of her mind.
Yep.
And the guys tried to carry her, pick her up, and
she can't even walk.
It was like a Monty Python skit. It was the greatest thing I've ever seen. And being that she holds the record she beat the Beatles number 1 record for most hits. I mean, number one hits. That scares the hell out of me because of social media. And it makes me think, where would the Beatles be today with social media back then? It'd be mind-blowing.
Yeah.
You know?
Listen, I love early Mariah Carey. I absolutely love this. I love the first few records.
Give me Pink.
Yeah, Pink is. I agree. Pink is great.
Love her.
I'm not going to dispute the pick because she's an absolute disgrace lately. All right, Ern.
What does lately mean? 20 years?
Well, last 20 years. But I'm not going to pick. I could never pick her because she has 2-3 great records. And when I mean great records, they're back to front, really great records.
These are people I can't stand, so.
All right, Ern, here's what we got from you so far. We got number 5, Aerosmith. Number 4, Jimi Hendrix. Number 3, Carmine's favorite, Pearl Jam. Number 2, Don't Be Cruel, Elvis Presley. Number 1, Ern, what do you got?
My number is it's U2. It's the whole argument with Iron Maiden, the Gallop, that goes double for the way I feel about U2.
Yeah.
Every song is to me.
Go with the Blue Sky, really, guys?
That's not a bad song, but
I
don't love them like the whole world loves them, though. That's really what it's about.
By the way, it's the only one you're correct. It's the only one I threw out there.
Also,
Snops.
Also,
Stop being so gravelly.
Yeah. Why I hate Pearl Jam so much? U2 actually is probably for the same reasons.
Yeah, I just said it. So I definitely agree with you. It's the guitar work. It's the same thing every song. You could. It's. Yeah. I mean, is it original the first time you hear it? Sure. After the 86 song that sounds exactly the same, I don't want to hear it anymore.
All right, fine.
I got to piggyback on some things Tommy said a couple of minutes ago where you were saying you wanted to put Elton John and that you said that would have really damaged me. However, I almost put Elton John on my list because as much as I love him now or in the last 10 years, in my whole life, there was over 20 years where I had no use whatsoever for Elton John because that hole was filled with Billy Joel. So I was trying to figure what was this show going to be about? What was this show about? For the whole
Unfortunately, when you compare artists of that caliber, Elton John, you got to throw out a Billy Joel. You could throw out a Bruce Hornsby too, but Bruce Hornsby is a master at his piano, at his
yeah, but
instrument.
that means nothing to me and the general public. Nobody.
Elton John, to me, never wrote a lyric in his life. That bothers me.
Of course, me too.
That bothers me.
I
gotta throw that in.
Elton John didn't make my list. I wish it did. If I would have thought of him, I didn't. I have absolutely no use for Elton John. I will take Billy Joel any day of the week.
He's been riding the gravy train for a while. So.
When you say he's a great pianist, listen, there's a million great players out there. Playing your instrument proficiently does not make you an artist I want to listen to.
Ernie,
it means nothing to me.
Ernie, when was Elton John's last album put out? Not written.
Maybe 2011, maybe.
Written?
Well, yeah, he still puts out stuff.
No, I'm not live or anything like that. I'm saying new material.
Yeah, he still puts new material out.
Not the Lion King either. Okay.
Lion King is the part of the area of Elton John that I like the least, actually. That was him like cheating almost, in my opinion.
You want to stomp the butter, or you want to?
Hold on. So let's get to my number 1. So my number 1 is anticlimactic. I already said it, but let's go down my list. Number 5, Pink Floyd. Number 4, Red Hot Chili Peppers. Number 3, Nirvana. Number 2, Iron Maiden / U2.
Still up.
Number 1, I want to change it because someone already said it, but I can't change it. It's Guns N' Roses. They are the most overrated band in the history of music. I have no use for them. Axl can't sing. He can't hold a note, and he's a pompous ass. Throw him out the window.
Agreed.
Let's do some. It was a little anticlimactic, our number ones, because we stole each other's, but let's do a couple honorable mentions. What do you got, Doctor?
I got Dylan. Got to kill him.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
Yeah, I would throw Dylan out the window, too.
I think you need to start a war, because without the Vietnam War, there's no Dylan.
Well, if you don't like Springsteen, you're definitely not going to like Bob Dylan.
No, that's what I said. Like Dylan,
Yeah.
that's it. He was a poet, period, and not a musician, as far as I'm concerned. That's it. So he's like American Indian. Sounds like a rain dance.
Yeah. I wish I could. I want to argue, and I can't. I've never, in the history of my life, put on a Bob Dylan song. I have no
Dylan
use.
is revered as, you got these people paying homage to him. People aren't like us, but in the industry, Joey, besides yourself, but sit there and they just kiss his ass and go, I went to a Bob Dylan concert and I was teary-eyed. I was so moved I got to see Bob Dylan. I'm like this, are you kidding me? Really?
Ernie, right now, 2 bands are playing at Madison Square Garden, Friday, Saturday night. Which one do you go to? Bob Dylan Friday night, Spice Girls on Saturday.
Spice Girls. But we're not talking about the same thing anymore.
What do you got, Ern? Honorable mention.
My honorable mentions were Madonna and Jay-Z.
Madonna?
Yeah, except for the first album, I got bored with Madonna. But I'm going to point out another one that just came to me, just in case I didn't make enough enemies yet. John Lennon's solo output.
Yeah, I don't. I hate. I'm one of the biggest Beatle fans ever. I can't even remember the last time I put on a John Lennon solo stuff.
Yeah, I give him a buy. I give him. He's a Beatle.
Yeah,
give him a buy.
I agree.
Yeah, I'll even give Ringo a buy on that one.
Yeah, me too. I don't have any use for this solo stuff.
Solo output. I like Ringo.
You're reaching now. You're trying to piss off too many people now. I
happen to like Ringo's music, by the way.
I'm gonna go with one that has a diehard fan base. I think they're terrible. Can't get into them. Don't understand them. The Grateful Dead.
Yeah, go boo.
What? Who? What? Give me one reason to like this band. One reason.
I was very grateful when Garcia was dead.
I mean, there's no reason to like this band unless you're a druggie and you go and want to space out. Why are you listening to this band?
How about Dave Matthews?
Yeah, Dave Matthews has some stuff that I don't mind that much, but I agree. It's Fish, all those types of bands. Throw them out the window.
Unbelievable. You can sit there, they just jam out for an hour. It's like, might as well just be a jazz musician.
Yeah.
Go see a jazz fest. They just sit to watch musicians just jam out.
And listen, I won't badmouth jazz because they're super talented musicians. But
no, absolutely.
Yeah, I've been to jazz shows plenty of times. I'm bored out of my mind 5 minutes in. Bored out of my mind. The drummer amazes me for 5 minutes, and then I could care less what he does for the rest of the night. I don't care. Yeah, you're great. I understand you guys are great, and you're all playing out of time and out of sync. It's amazing. I can't sing. I can't tap my foot to it. Throw it out the window.
Guys, you got some stuff out of me tonight, man. I didn't think I was going to be able to do this.
I can't wait for the hate mail.
You got the hatred out. Thank you.
You're gonna double your mail, but half the your viewers.
I won't have to beat my kids.
I thought they left with the Knob Creek.
No, they came back.
Thank you so much for that, because that's the best clip we've ever had on the show. Look.
I love you. Now go hide.
No.
Now go hide.
No, they
love a little game right now. You go hide. I'm gonna go find you and beat you.
And I'll kill you too.
And you'll kill me too.
Oh no, they love me.
So anyway.
Well, guys, We want to hear all about your bands that you can't stand, preferably popular bands that most people love that you can't stand. Send us some emails at top5withjoeycassata@gmail.com. Tell us what you think. Send us who you hate. Even better, tell us what you thought of our picks, Ernie's picks, the doctor's picks. Address an email to each one of us. Let us know what you think of our picks. And guys, any last words?
Last words, literally.
My last word. I want to apologize. I think someone should stomp the butter in a graveyard. Or on gravel.
Good evening. Oh, God. It took me 40 minutes to get it. And when I got it, it was the best thing ever.
All right, guys.
Boys, it was a good one. We'll get a lot of hate mail, but that's what the show's about. We want our opinions. We don't want just the popular public opinion. We want to hear what we think, right?
Hold your ears. Hold your ears.
We got it this time.
Earmuffs.
Hold your ears. And fuck Michael Jackson, too.
Well, we have the ending there. Good stuff, boys. We'll see you next time.
Later.